Real schoolers, here comes a huge twist. One bigger than M. Night Shaggy Man could ever write. I'm actually a fan of his work. Wait, don't click away. Okay. Not everything. Can I defend The Last Airbender or The Happening? No. But I have a theory that M. Night Shantytown isn't actually a director ruining his career. He's an actor, a puppet, a front, if you will, for the true villains of cinema. Oh wait, that would be a horrible twist. This is Real School. Like I said, you can't defend everything that M. Night Shyamalan Pants has done, but it has been a strangely progressive decline. I don't think anyone will deny that Sixth Sense is by far his best film, but then a pattern seems to develop. From there, Unbreakable was great, except for the epilogue titles at the very end of the film. Then Signs was a pretty good supernatural thriller. It was well constructed, and a great homage to one of his biggest influences, Alfred Hitchcock. But the film really lost me about 2/3 of the way through the film. When you saw the aliens, it just wasn't the same. By the time you get to The Happening, well, you have nowhere to go but up. By comparison, The Last Airbender looked like Lawrence of Arabia. Scratch that. They actually cast actors of appropriate racial heritage in Lawrence of Arabia. Audiences don't really trust him as a storyteller anymore. They don't put his name on the trailer or movie posters, and critics and film theorists who had deemed him the next Spielberg are now writing for Rolling Stone. Was that a Peter Travers diss? It's an immense hole to climb out of, but I was curious to see what he would do with a story that was seemingly a good fit for him. Aside from Hitchcock, M. Night Shyamalan has said that he's heavily influenced by the great iconic writer Rod Serling, hence the twists in a lot of his films. On paper, After Earth seems like a great fit. The concept itself seems like a Twilight Zone episode. Sorry to spoil it, M. Night Shopping Mall fans, but there is no twist in this one. Since that just leaves M. Night Shaving Cream as the director, since he's not actually writing the screenplay, it's one of the first chances that audiences get to see what he's like when he's only behind the camera. The truth is, nothing special. I wish I had anything to say about his directing, but nothing really stood out. The major pieces of a film that a director is in charge of in After Earth were generic at best. This is a man who in previous films of his had made very specific choices. The Sixth Sense production design and use of color, the back and forth editing and narrative of Unbreakable, and the use of sound and music in both The Village and Signs. Here's another huge twist, Real Schoolers. The Village is actually my favorite film of his. It is superbly put together, and it really shows that when a director and his team know when to use sound effects, when to use silence, and when to use the score, it truly influences the film. I consider the score to The Village to be absolutely beautiful. Take a listen the next time you watch that film. So it was no surprise that I also liked the music in After Earth, as once again, M. Night Shyamalan teams up with James Newton Howard, who has scored all of his previous films. But he's not this episode's For the Win. Another aspect a good director should have control over is his actors. And once again, I felt that the performances of After Earth really had no directorial influence. This unfortunately meant that I lost interest in the film several times because Jaden Smith still has a long way to go when it comes to his acting skills, and he's not quite there to carry a film himself. His father, however, gave one of the most interesting performances of his career. We've all seen the over-the-top, energetic, screaming like an idiot Will Smith, but this character was apathetic, stolid, and reserved. His best work, like we've seen in Pursuit of Happiness, Ali, and 6 Degrees of Separation, is very much reserved and layered, so he can show all the emotions that he's capable of as an actor. He surprisingly brought more to his character, Cypher Rage, than anything else in the film. Cypher Rage? That's the name of some 90s goth club. But he did keep my attention out of all of the actors. Both of them. So, Will Smith is After Earth's For the Win. It really wasn't M. Night Scooby-Doo's fault though, because while his direction really didn't influence anything, nothing about After Earth in the first place was all that special. The story was fairly dull, I never really found myself all that invested, and worst of all, once again, they showed all the best parts in the trailer. Basically, it was Crash, monkeys, bird, freezing, alien, and that's a wrap. It wasn't necessarily a bad film, it was just mayonnaise on white bread, flavorless and plain. Although again, from the casting of The Last Airbender, that's apparently how Shyamalan likes things. It's not his worst film by any means, but it is still very much a burn it. Poll question, what is your favorite M. Night Shyamalan film? Yes, I can say it properly. As always, leave your answers in the comment section below, and be sure this time to let me know why it's your favorite movie. But until next time, school's out.